make
appreciate
such
it.
amazing food for us. As you can see, Orly, Ken, and Larissa are already digging in. So is Cameron. He's got it right there. So what you said this is one of your favorite ways to prepare lobster. Why is that?
You know, lobster, or really any dish, I mean, this is the milk and cookies of the savory world. But for lobster, because it's so rich and it's buttery, and I mean, this is ultimate decadence here, very low calorie.
Oh yeah, really? No, I saw that. I've been saving up for it today though, so I'm all right.
Oh my goodness.
So it is decadent, but it's not something that we're going to eat every day. And you're going to show us how we can make it and make it just as good as it would be in any restaurant. Because most people don't think of making lobster mac and cheese at home because it seems like something you get when you go somewhere fancy.
Yeah, like my kids aren't eating lobster mac and cheese every single day, just for breakfast once a week.
Oh, I see. Okay,
So-
which makes it fine. All right, so we start with a whole lobster, and you actually crack the lobster and put the whole thing in a stock pot.
Yeah, so the key is using the whole lobster, right? Because a lot of times people are intimidated by this, but this shell, this is flavor right here. I mean, it's really the bones of the lobster. And as you said yourself, I mean, these things are marinated in the ocean for years. So
Exactly.
A lot of
so
flavor.
that's where all the flavor is.
Exactly,
All right, so we
exactly.
put in there with a little bit of olive oil and some shallots?
Yeah, we've got a little bit of olive oil, shallots, you know, just lightly sauteing it. And then what we're going to do is, as it's kind of started to saute, we'll add a little bit of garlic to this.
Okay.
And kind of get that worked up. And as mentioned, really, this is the foundation of the sauce. So making sure you get those shells in there.
Interesting. I've never thought of putting.
I know, but then when you were
Yeah.
talking about it, I said, well, yeah, I guess it has been in the ocean for years. So, I mean, that's where all the flavor is going to be. All the salt is going to be in the shell of the lobster.
Do you have to be careful about mixing it that you don't like crack small pieces off or anything like that? Or
Ultimately, we will strain this, so I mean, crack away, right?
Oh.
The smaller the shell, the better. So even if you want to break it up with a hammer and a Ziploc baggie to create more surface area, you're even going to get a richer sauce.
Nice.
So,
Okay.
Yep.
Good question, Oral.
So then we add some white wine.
So we're gonna add a little bit of white wine here. Now this is key, right? White wine, cognac, brandy, any type of alcohol, because interestingly, it's not necessarily the flavor, but the alcohol in there as well is a catalyst for creating a lot of those. Yeah, we get scientific, but it tastes darn good.
And it's working. Let me just say it's working because this is absolutely delicious.
So after that's cooked down a little bit, we're going to add a little bit of heavy cream here, and obviously that's key. And to add some richness to this, some umami, bring it back to the ocean, clam juice, of course.
Oh, I love that. So it's almost like you're making a bechamel.
Exactly.
With the lobster in it.
That's exactly what we're doing. Yeah, it's a bechamel. I mean, you know, this is also the foundation for a lobster bisque.
Right.
So, you know, we could stop right here.
We really could, and that would be delicious. So
We're all silent over here.
how long would you want this to sort of cook down?
So simmer this for maybe 15 minutes,
That's
reduce
it.
it down just a little bit. There's enough richness in there already. And then we thicken it with cornstarch, and we've got a finished product right here. Right?
After we've strained it.
Exactly. So we've strained it. We've gotten those lobster shells out of there. And in those lobster shells, I mean, you know, keep them, throw them in your freezer. You can put them in your neighbor's mailbox or something. Anything funny.
Stop it! I thought you were going to make seafood stock.
Yeah, but that's way,
no.
that's way too evident.
Oh my gosh, you're so funny. All right, so now we add cheese, as if this was not decadent enough.
So this is the key, right? Now, and once again, yeah, as you say, you're not going to have this every single day, so let's go big.
Right.
We've got the hot sauce right here, and it's essential that we mix in the cheese immediately while it's hot, so we can get it nice and
look at
get some of that cheese pull. I mean, this is where we break Instagram, of course.
And so this is just mozzarella?
Yep, mozzarella cheese for that beautiful pull. We'll add another cheese at the end there, and I add my noodles right in.
Just like that. Now, did you undercook these a little bit?
Touch, yeah, undercook them a touch. Oh, sorry.
Thank you.
There
That's
you go.
all right.
Undercook them because they're going to continue to cook. Is that the idea?
Exactly. They're going to continue to cook. Otherwise, you're going to end up with almost like a mashed potato as they break
It's gonna
down
be
into
super
sauce.
mushy.
So,
And what about the lobster? Was the lobster cooked before we put it in, or did we cook it in here?
so we did. We par-cooked the lobster by boiling it.
Okay.
And then we broke it out of the shell, because you have to for it to break out of the shell
Sure.
easily. Otherwise, you can use a jackhammer or something.
Okay.
And now we've got some more lobster meat, which we're going to fold in as well.
Oh
So we
my
call
goodness.
that the interior.
Now, I may be missing the point big time here, but could you use another seafood if you weren't going to use lobster? And I know I'm probably not going to be very popular at the counter here.
Why would
Well,
you do that?
I'm just curious. I don't know. I mean,
Makes no
is that
sense.
No, it's a great question. And actually, it doesn't even have to be seafood, right? You can take this. This is a foundation, kind of a choose your own adventure.
Okay.
I mean, heck, throw just veggies in there if you want to. But, you know, stick
Bacon.
Bad idea.
I told you I was going to get. I mean, but
I
thank
joined
you.
your camp.
Thank you.
Now I'm the most hated guy here.
Well,
Yeah, but wait a minute. If you put the veggies in here, you could get the kids to eat it, and they wouldn't know.
And then more lobster. For the grown-up.
Right.
Great idea.
I
Bingo,
like it.
bingo. So we've got all that mixed in here. You know, in this case, it's lobster, but once again, could be anything.
Okay.
And
Shrimp?
Shrimp, whitefish, smoked salmon is great. You can even
Smoked
do it as a breakfast skillet mac with smoked salmon and a fried egg on top.
Oh my God.
You know, I mean, we're getting silly now.
Getting
Getting a
wild.
little bit crazy.
So what is this? that
So
we're
I'm
putting-
adding a little bit of fresh thyme in here, right? That's
Okay.
gonna, you know, this is great for the holidays. In the summertime, you want to keep it lighter. Maybe do a little lemon and basil.
Ooh, how nice.
So lighter mac and cheese.
Right. Well, it kind of cuts the fat a little bit with the lemon.
Exactly.
So then we pour this in our skillet
Yeah.
because we're cooking it again in the oven.
And the key is you still want this to be somewhat soupy because it is going to continue cooking in the oven, and it's going to stay.
for you.
You know, you want it to really be nice and moist.
Okay. So that consistency
this
is what you want going into the oven.
Thank
then.
you. So this is the perfect consistency for
Okay.
the oven, and then before we put it in the oven, of course, right? We've
This
got
is amazing.
Well,
this is his
how silly of
secret.
me.
Oh my God.
Do you want to tell everyone what's in
I
here?
carry this in my pocket sometimes. So it's a
yes.
mix
Do
of
you?
Ritz crackers, potato chips, a little bit of breadcrumb.
I was wondering what it was.
Potato
Ritz
chips.
crackers, potato
That's so
chips,
smart.
and breadcrumbs.
There isn't enough carbs in it already.
Did this
Yeah.
come out of your pocket? Because I just want to be warned. I mean, this is okay. Sorry, I missed the point. I missed the point.
Then some more cheese.
And then we're going to finish it with just some aged Parmesan, right? And that's going to add depth of flavor. Of course, it's going to melt. It's going to add a crust. You got to have that cracker-type
it's
crust in
it's
there
so
mixing
good.
in with this.
And this is so beautiful. You could take this straight out of the oven and serve it like this in the skillet.
Exactly.
It's gorgeous.
Exactly.
Okay, so this goes
going
in for how long, Andrew?
So we're going to go into a 350-degree oven for about 8 minutes because it's hot. It's already cooked, so we're really just melting everything. And
Not bad.
Voila.
voila.
Wow. Oh my gosh.
Okay.
And then we add some more lobster.
Yeah, I
and
mean,
some
yeah, just to make matters better, right? Just
Yeah,
dump
I
a little bit
mean,
more
go,
lobster on
just
there.
Go like that.
See,
I
center
mean,
seasoning.
There you go.
Amazing.
Amazing.
Beautiful.